and get started. I'd like to welcome Mike Weir. Mike, another solid round today. You're at 9 under, just one off the lead going into the final round. Talk about what went well today and your thoughts going into the final round.
Well, I think similar to the first two rounds, I think my iron play was very good. Had a number of shots close to the hole today, and my putter was good. I converted most of those, and I think overall that aspect was probably the strength of the game today.
And your thoughts going into tomorrow?
Oh yeah,
the lead?
Yeah. I mean that's a great position to be in. That's where I wanted to put myself starting today. Was put my either be in the lead or be around the lead to have a chance tomorrow. And looking forward to that challenge. That's what I've been working towards the last few years to get myself back here in this position. So looking forward to that challenge.
Okay, questions? We've got a microphone right here. Bill?
Mike, the run you got on, I guess, starting at, what, 8?
8, yes.
You talk about how important that was for your round today?
Yeah, it was. It was a nice little stretch there. I felt like there was a couple things that just didn't quite pan out. I've hit some pretty good shots on the first 7 holes, and just found myself just off just a little bit awkward spots. That the bunker shot in 7 was just in a funny lie. That normally would be a pretty easy up and down, and hit a nice shot right at the hole on 5 and 6 as well, and just things weren't kind of going my way at the start of the round. So to see some momentum, hit a great fairway bunker shot to maybe 4 feet, 3 feet on 8. I did the same on 9. I hit a fairway bunker shot to probably 15 feet, made that one, and a nice drive and a wedge to about 15 feet again, and then I kind of got a lucky one on 11. I hit it in the rough and had kind of a funny lie, and it was a little luck and a little good execution. I was trying to land it short like that and have it bounce up. Now you have to have the right things happen for it to bounce right like that and go up there to tap in range, but so that was a little lucky break there. So it was a nice little run of four in a row.
You had a weird stance there too, right?
Yeah, it was kind of a funny stance and funny lie, and like I said, I was just trying to get that ball tumbling onto the front of the green. I would have been happy if it was just 50 feet on the front there, but it tumbled up there all the way to the hole.
Danny said you kind of called it.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I planned. I saw that shot in my mind, so it was a little bit luck, but I did. That's what I envisioned.
Right.
The type
You
of
just
shot.
didn't expect to have 2.5 feet. For
yeah,
three.
I didn't. No, exactly.
Adam?
Mike, is there anything, change of putter or technique, anything that you've done differently this week that you attribute your putting success to?
I think one thing is, I went to a smaller grip on my putter, and I feel like it brought a little feel back for me. The other grip was fine, but it was very stable, and I loved it too, but I just felt like I wasn't making anything. I just wanted to make a change. And I thought, well, I really like the putter. I just want to change the grip just to give it a little different feel. Yes, and I just went back to just a normal size grip. And, I putted well with both, but I hadn't putted very well in the last couple of months, so I wanted to change.
Next. I have a couple. Bill?
With so many guys up there bunched together, how do you plot strategy for tomorrow?
My strategy is really just, I know the way I'm trying to approach this golf course. I'm not really, it's a little cliche, I know, but, I'm really not paying attention to what anybody else does. I mean, I don't bomb it like these guys. I can't cut corners and reach these par 5s mostly like they can, so I have to play my game, and hopefully that's good enough. You have to keep putting well, and, hopefully my iron play has been very good, and so hopefully that'll show up tomorrow as well.
Mike, I don't want to take you to a dark place, but I'm trying to get some perspective on how low it got. Certainly, a victory tomorrow would mean a lot, but 2012, it looked like maybe you bottomed out a little bit. Was there a moment? You talked the other day about maybe even wondering what you were going to do, and I know talking to David Duval was the same way. Was there a point? Was there a memory, or something? Maybe a talk with your wife? Come to Jesus moment?
I've had plenty of talks with my family about that, and I was telling the guys in here yesterday that I think as you get older, I use Strick as an example. You want to cut back, and you miss things with your kids, and you want to be there for them. And when you're playing poor golf, it makes you really reflect and say, do I really want to do this? I mean, I've accomplished more in my career than I've ever dreamed I would. You know, coming from a mini tour guy, Canadian tour guy for 6-7 years, and do I really want to put myself through this? And you know, because I was working very, very hard, not seeing anything, and so yeah, definitely it was difficult. Had plenty of talks, and my kids are old enough now that they're, you know, 16 and 14, and they're like, Dad, get out there. You know, if they would have said no, we want you home, you know, who knows? I probably would, but they want me out there, and they're encouraging, and you know, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying the process right now, and but I don't know how long I will. I mean, it is a grind, and it's I'm having fun right now, and but I would probably in the next few years. I suspect that my schedule will probably be cut back significantly.
So they're old enough, particularly the 16-year-old is just old enough to remember you in your prime, I would say.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, she got some glimpses a little bit, but I'd still like to really do some good things while they're older now. And I remember when DT won a few years ago at Colonial. I thought that was really special that DT's son was there.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. So
I remember David Duvall also saying, "I wanted to prove to my kids that I used to be pretty good."
right. So that you know that has something
motivation?
to do with it. Yeah, a little motivation for sure.
Mike, did you get a chance to talk to your kids last night, and what did they say?
No, they were, you know, Friday night. They were
I got better
sleepovers, youngest one friends hanging out. So we texted a little bit. So they just text me now. I'll talk to them here in a little bit.
Here.
Yeah, we talked the other day about, you know, the strengths and the weakness of this golf course and how it brings out the best. Apparently today you found the best. You were out there and really striking the ball well. Talk about the ball striking and how you've talked about the par fives, but talk about some of the other holes and how it helped you a little bit and get that little run going.
Well, I think what I find is the tough part of this golf course is that that southwest wind. It makes a lot of the golf course are crosswinds. So when you have firm fairways and the wind's blowing straight across the fairway, to curve that ball to get it to stay in the fairway when it's really starting to bounce, it's challenging to get the ball in the fairway. I mean, all three of us had a tough time finding the fairway today, but I think that's the strength of the golf course. And then I think around the greens is difficult if you're just off the edges. The chipping can be difficult. So you gotta plot your way around. You gotta play some smart shots at certain points, and then there's some spots that you can attack a little bit. So I think it's a very fair, really good golf course. Back over to John.
I should probably know, Mike, who have you been working with on your golf swing? Anybody mentally?
Well, I still work with Doc Rich Gordon. I mean, he's you know, been with me. We've worked together a long time, and you know, I've been working on my swing on my own. You know, I spent a little time this week with the guy Joe Mayo and helping me find the right driver and right shaft combination for me. And I think I just didn't have the right, a little bit of the right lie angle. We adjusted a little bit in the shaft, and that seems to be helping a little bit. But for the most part, I've at the start of this year, I just decided to just work on my own and try to simplify and strip away the things that I didn't need and the extra bits that I didn't need. I felt like I just need to get out there and play, and that's starting to finally pay off a little bit.
Did you see this coming? I know you mentioned you played pretty well in New Orleans, right?
Well, Kobe, I was pretty good until Sunday. I played pretty good, and there's been. Pardon me?
Wells Fargo.
Thank you.
Wells Fargo. Sorry. Yes. Sorry. Excuse me. But yeah, I played some good golf this year. I just haven't been putting very well. Even early in the year, I can't think of the number of tournaments where I struck the ball really. Pebble Beach in particular this year, I think, you know, I really played really well. The first round, I remember hitting 14 greens and 14 fairways and 18 greens and shot like 1 under. Hit a par 5 and 2. I mean, it just had like 37, 38 putts, things like that. It was really frustrating because my ball striking was coming around, and now that part of my game is starting to get a little sharper, obviously, this week.
Mike, you worked with a variety of instructors the last several years. What was the determining factor to decide to go on your own? Because not a lot of guys do that out here these days.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with a few guys, I guess. I guess the thing for me was I didn't want to be bound by a certain way. I didn't want to. Now I learned great things from those guys and things that have helped me, but there comes a certain point where you just got to get out there and play. And you know, I worked with Grant Waite the last year and a half, and he helped me a tremendous amount. But it's just time to go play, and that's how I used my other instructor. My first instructor, I worked on it, and then I went and played. And I found that I was just becoming more dependent on somebody, and then that led to just questioning myself on the golf course. Now, not everybody's like that. Some people need that. Some people want to have an instructor there, and it works well for them. But I just found that after a while that I didn't want to keep asking questions anymore. I just want to get out there and do it. I had the answers. I knew what I needed to work on in my swing, and now it's just a matter of just getting out there and doing it.
Okay, everybody good? Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Mike.
Good luck.
Thanks so much, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Good luck, Paul.
Thanks.
Imagine. They're gonna bring. They're probably stacked up.
They have to,
They had somebody else off, but I think.